Welcome, Latanya. My name's Austin Campbell. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm fine. Could be doing worse, I guess. It doesn't feel like I had much of a choice being here.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you have come in to see me, and I hope I can be of some assistance to you. I'm the clinic's registered dietitian, so thank you for coming in. What brings you in here today?
Well, my doctor said I have hypertension and that I need to see you to discuss my diet, but the thing is, I don't want to change my diet. Also, why would the doctor prescribe me this medication if if it won't completely fix my problem?
Okay, well, we can definitely discuss that today, but before we get started, I just wanted to confirm in my records that you're 26, 170 pounds, and you're taking medication for high blood pressure?
Correct.
Okay, I see. Well, I'd like to talk a bit more about the things you mentioned a second ago, specifically your diet. But first, would you mind me asking, what do you know about hypertension?
Honestly, nothing. I zoned out the entire time the doctor was talking to me.
Okay, I understand. Visits to the doctor can be stressful and overwhelming sometimes. Well, essentially, hypertension is having too high of blood pressure. And the medicine your doctor prescribed is designed to help you with that if you take it as directed. But there are other ways we can combat hypertension, and that's what I'd like to help you with.
Well, like I said, I don't feel like changing the way I eat very much.
I see. May I ask you what the reasons behind you wanting to maintain your diet as is are?
Well, for starters, I'm happy with my body. I feel like I'm pretty healthy, and my husband likes my figure the way it is. Plus, my schedule can be so crazy sometimes that changing my diet will probably throw off the whole thing. I've tried some diets in the past, but never stick with anything, so I've come to accept myself as I am now.
Well, it's excellent that you're happy with your body and you feel healthy. I can definitely understand the feeling of having a crazy schedule, and that if you break from your routine a little bit, the rest of it might get out of control as well. So I'd love to try and explore some ways we can positively affect your health without forcing you to compromise your schedule or your routine, and without forcing you to give up your favorite foods as well.
I don't believe it's possible, but I'm open to suggestions, I suppose.
Okay, all right, great. Well, I have some suggestions. But to start, may I ask what kinds of strategies or diets you have tried in the past?
Well, I tried exercising a bit here and there, but after working all day sitting down, I'm never really in the mood to get up and exercise after work, especially with my kids at home needing me. Also, I did try to cut some snacking habits, and I started snacking only 3 times a day instead of 4 lately. To be honest, most of my snacking occurs because I'm just bored.
I see. Well, being busy can certainly hinder you from, exercising as much as you'd like. May I ask what kind of foods you usually snack on?
Well, in between meals, it's usually chips, salt and vinegar. I'm our favorite for sure. Also, at church functions, there's always so much delicious food, including another one of my favorites, my friend Judy's homemade Southwest jalapeno queso dip.
Wow. Well, I got it. I mean, those do sound delicious, and you mentioned your snacking usually occurs when you're bored, and it seems that when you do end up snacking, you do lean towards salty foods.
I do love some salt.
All right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not here to force you to give up the things you love. Rather, I'd just like to provide you with as much information as possible, and hopefully help you toward, making positive changes that you want to make, that you're comfortable making. Did you know that excessive salt intake is a risk factor towards hypertension?
No, I didn't know that. I suppose it makes sense, though. What, are you saying I need to stop eating salty foods?
Not exactly. I mean, all of your foods can fit into a balanced diet, even that Southwest jalapeno queso bean dip sometimes. But, rather than completely cut these foods out, I think it would be beneficial to attempt to limit how much of them you eat.
Well, I guess it doesn't sound so bad.
You also mentioned that you have attempted to cut back on the amount of snacking you do. What do you think are some barriers you face when trying to do this?
I feel like I'm almost surrounded by food, and I find myself bored pretty often. So I just, end up eating to pass the time. I know it might not be the best thing for me, but it can be so hard to help it. After our church functions, there's usually plenty of leftover food, so I just bring it home with me, and if I don't eat it, it'll just go bad, so I eat it when I'm bored.
Okay, I see. Well, eating while bored is certainly a common factor that various clients bring up to me. It's kind of human nature to want to eat something, eat some food when it's just right there in front of us, it's available to us. So, concerning the two things that we've talked about, salt intake and frequency of snacking, what are some ways that you think you can realistically cut down on those, your ideas?
Like I said, I tried a lot and nothing seems to stick. Other than completely avoiding those situations entirely, I don't know how I can. I don't want to stop giving up going to church functions or bringing my kids home food because they love eating it.
I understand completely. Perhaps there are ways you can avoid those situations where you feel you should eat because of boredom, without giving up going to church functions or even bringing food home to your kids. So, um, perhaps you could plan your meals so that they fall, just possibly before going to church functions or right after going to church functions. That way, you either feel full going into them or feel like you can just wait a little while longer and get home and get a full meal, like real meal there.
That could be something I could try. But what if I get bored there and snack anyway?
Well, I can't help you with the boredom you may face in some of those situations, but I could recommend carrying a water bottle around to sip on frequently, and that might, help you replace snacking on the available food. Um, and perhaps you'd be able to, you know, some people have also had success replacing snacking with chewing sugar-free gum to give some of those feelings of satiety and fulfillment as well.
I never thought of those. Maybe one of them might actually help me for a little bit. But even through all that, I feel like if I start losing weight, my husband might be a little upset.
Your husband is welcome to attend any of the follow-up meetings we have in the future if you think it will make him more comfortable with the idea.
Yeah, that might help him. I think ease his mind a bit. I'll discuss it with him.
Okay, wonderful. So do you have a time when you believe you can start putting these plans in action and start actually working towards these goals that you have?
Well, maybe Monday, 3 days from today. That's the start of a new week.
Okay, excellent. And I'd just like to reiterate my support for you. This is certainly a big step you're taking, and it will lead you down a path toward being as healthy as you can be, as well as managing your hypertension. At this point, I'd like to give you this note card to write down your goals toward limiting salty snacks, as well as limiting frequency of snacking. I believe that having clients write down their goals solidifies them and kind of breathes life into them, and it helps them achieve what they're hoping to achieve. In 2 weeks, we can meet again to evaluate progress and see what did and did not work for you, and then go from there.
Okay, well, I hope it works this time around. Thanks for your input, and yeah, I can come back in 2 weeks.
Wonderful. If you have any questions or concerns in the meantime, feel free to contact me. Here's my card, as well as a pamphlet that discusses hypertension and how to manage it and its symptoms using diet and medication. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, and it has been a pleasure meeting with you today. Take care.
Thank you.